The reason this slide is here again today is because really, this is it. Take imperfect action. I just want to remind you every damn day, take imperfect action. Here we go. Today, we're going to talk about an awesome onboarding experience and the adoption of GHL. You can have an awesome onboarding experience, but if your clients don't adopt usage of GHL and can't get help, they're going to bounce. They're going to quit. So you have to have both of these things. And if you don't have a great onboarding experience, more than likely, they're going to quit early because buyers are more sets in, like in the first 24 to 48 hours. So you want to make sure that they have an amazing experience. And we're going to talk about how to do that right now. So some of the tools that we use for an effective onboarding experience. We use Lucidchart to draw out a workflow chart. Now, if you were on Christine, the high level queen, if you were on her workshop, you probably saw all the stuff that she does, and she's brilliant, has way more than we do. But Lucidchart to map out your flow, and then of what you're going to do during the onboarding process, and then obviously you're going to use workflows, right? They do the heavy lifting for you, so you're going to use workflows to create as much automation and communication and nurturing and triggering things to happen and notifications to yourself and to the clients, right? You absolutely need to use these to your advantage to help you. And then pipelines. Pipelines are not just about sales. Pipelines can be used for anything. And I'm going to show you how we use pipelines to monitor the progress of clients to make sure that they are staying engaged and to see if they're falling behind so you can help them along. And then the members area. Members areas are not just about selling courses. They can be used for anything. So I'm going to show you how we use a membership area as like a roadmap of training for our clients to help them adopt usage and to refer back to when they need to get help. So if everybody's ready, are we having engagement in the Facebook group?
Yep. Can I get a
Ready?
1 in the streaming? I just want to make sure people can hear the audio in the Facebook streaming. If you're watching on Facebook and you're not in the Zoom, or you're doing both, give us a 1. Okay. Dennis. Okay. Deal with quadruple 5s. Okay. Cool. We're good to go.
Excellent. Okay.
Keep going. Yeah.
Here we go. So we want to wow and engage them right from the start. I'm going to cover 4 things here. We're going to cover how we welcome them in and create an overview video for them, several videos actually. I'm going to show you how we get them engaged in a hub quick start guide. And when I say hub, that's what I call my instance of chirodominance, right? We call it the chirodominance hub. You can name yours anything you want, but that way, you've given it an identity, right? So we do a hub quick start guide where we have our clients set themselves up. And then after they set themselves up, we schedule an onboarding review to see if they did a good job. Next, we're going to talk about website requirements. Now, if you're not offering a website, you can ignore this, but maybe you're offering something else that's not a website. You can still kind of use the framework that we use here on how you get these things from your clients and fulfilled. And then we're going to talk about how we communicate to our clients to let them know how everything works and to be sure and download the app so we get engagement. So the first thing, this welcome overview and video. This is where I'm talking about teach your customers to fish. First of all,
Dar, real quick, do me a favor.
Go ahead.
So on top of your screen, you have the Zoom controls. I can see the outline of it. Do you mind that from the screen, or can you?
All right, I moved it. How's that look? Is that better?
That's better. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Awesome. No, I'm glad you let me know. The other day we went with the yellow box the whole
the sticky note on the screen. Don't worry about it.
That's right. I'm going to remove all of those for everyone. It's a nice clean group of slides. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll take everybody's picture and I'll just put someone's picture on the corner of each slide. Okay. Teach your customers to fish. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is if you do everything for them, as you scale, it's going to be more and more difficult for you to continue to do everything for them. You're going to be limited at a certain number of clients. How many can you handle? 5, 10, 20, not if you're doing everything for them. So I learned this the hard way. All the customers we have now, and still some of our OG customers from back in the beginning when we did everything for them, they'll call me, like Thanksgiving's coming up. I'll get a text on my phone, which, by the way, never give out your personal phone. I'll get a text like, "Hey, Dar, we're going to be off next week for Thanksgiving. Can you block out my calendar?" I'm like, "No, you can block out your calendar." But I don't, right? I'm like, "No, we have trainings on that. We do show you how to do this." So you want to teach your customers how to fish. Plus, it gives them confidence in using what could otherwise be construed as a very complicated system. Sorry, deep breath, had a big lunch. Okay, so the other thing is you want to give things in bite-sized chunks. You do not want long videos. If you get long video and they open up a long video and get started, they're going to see it and be like, "Oh, right, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, no way." Like under 5 minutes each. The longest video we have is actually my overview video, where I'm essentially giving them an overview of what's going to happen, what to expect, and so forth. Every video there after that is under 5 minutes. Many of them are under 2 minutes, like 1 to 2 to 3 minutes. So that way they can feel like, okay, I got this, got the next thing. Plus, when they have to refer back to things, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but when they have to refer back to trainings, they don't want to have to refer back to one video that's 20 minutes long to look through it to find the piece that they need to know about. How do you add a new customer, right? Or something like that. So bite-sized chunks. You want a really good welcome sequence, a welcome sequence with an overview. You also want a quick start guide, right? Essentially, and I talked about this, where they're setting things up themselves. So there's a video, I give them a welcome video. "Hey, this is Dar. Welcome to Car Dominance. You've made a great choice. XYZ, right? Now I'm going to give you an overview. Here's what to expect, et cetera, et cetera. The first video we're going to do is we're going to set up your hub. And all you need to do is follow along the video and set up the hub and do exactly what I'm doing, but just change out the information with your information. So I have them set up their calendars. I have them choose a phone number and forward it to their office number. I have them integrate their socials, things like that, all of the basic stuff. Then after they do that, there is a calendar link where, using team calendars, there's a calendar link for hub review, hub onboarding setup review. And essentially, this is the first onboarding call. So when we get on our first onboarding call, they're already familiar with the hub. They've already done some work in it. And by the way, I give them permission to make mistakes. I tell them, look, don't expect to get it all right. That's why we're going to have the onboarding call, to just tweak things and make sure they're right. But once they get on this call with us, they already have a bit of a comfort level on the system. And I go through there. In fact, crazy enough, I had one yesterday, and this doc did almost everything perfect. And I was like, man, gold star. Like, not everybody gets this part right, and not everybody gets that part right. And wow, you even recorded a video or an audio and put it in there for your voicemail. Like, well done. So it gives them some confidence as well. And honestly, it's a little win, right? They got into the system. And so here's what this looks like on our system. As soon as they sign in, they're going to come inside the hub. And we're using, we've created, it's actually not here. I'll show you on the next slide right here. But they come in and they have to log in using the email that they use to sign up. Sorry, man, big mac and cheese today. So it's my dog's birthday today. We had to celebrate. So anyway, we have welcome to your onboarding login, right? And as soon as they log in, then this box that you see is replaced with a video, and it's me welcoming them. "Hey, you've made a great choice." And so we have a series of 3 or 4 videos that is right here in the hub before they go to the members training area. The first one is the welcome video. The next one is the overview. Or it's welcome and overview, I think, are combined now. The next one is setting up your hub. And the next one after that is setting up your website, or the things that we need from you for your website. And then the next one is going to be like, okay, what's next? What happens next? And so we're going to go into that here in a minute.
So quick question, Dar, before you go further. So like, you close the sale, then they get a welcome sequence that they go through, and they're
correct.
these videos before you schedule a Zoom call with them to kind of verify things, or is it
Correct.
happening after that initial Zoom call?
Yeah. I mean, now look, they get a phone call like,
Okay, so
hey,
not even a Zoom.
no, I'll call them.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
hey, Dr. Greger, because look, honestly, before this, we've had a Zoom. I know they're signing up. You know what I mean? They were on a demo. They watched the demo. They've got some questions. We were either on a Zoom call or phone call, and they're like, yeah, we're signing up. Great. When you sign up, you're going to go through a quick little video series sequence that's going to help you initially get some things set up. As soon as you do that, schedule a Zoom review call with us to make sure you get everything set up right. So I'm like starting from the beginning, setting the expectation that they're running the show. They've got to learn how to do it. But I break it down real easy. I'm not like, look, man, you could launch a space shuttle with this thing. Good luck. I'm like, it's really easy. There's just a couple of things. Just follow the video. It's 5 minutes long. And so there we go. Now, as I was talking about other tools that we use, and by the way, I skipped over the Lucid chart. And let me just tell you all, when I send you the slides, there will be a slide that'll have a Lucid chart example for you of onboarding flow. We're actually redoing ours right now. And I didn't get it done. So when I get ours redone, I'm going to just put it in the slides so you can have that as an example of what you might want to model. Okay, so one of the other tools we use is the pipeline, right? So the videos are in here, the initial videos, and then we can see if someone has signed up, but they haven't started yet, they're just going to be over here as a new client. And of course, we're using workflows to, as someone clicks a button, moving forward, it's going to automatically move them through the pipeline. So none of this is manual. This is all automated. Once they've watched the welcome video, they're going to be right here. If they haven't moved forward, they're just going to sit there because, these are doctors, and they may be busy and watching it in between patients or who knows when. When they're on the quick start guide, then they're here on the quick start guide. So I know that they're getting things, they're watching the video, they're getting things together and so forth. And once they've completed that, and click the button, to schedule their review call, the next thing they do is they go into their website requirements, and then they're here. So this way we can see if someone's falling behind, and it happens. People do fall behind. They get busy, they get excited, they get the software, and then life happens. So we can go in here and go, oh yeah, look. In fact, we have automations that'll kick off to say, Dr. Smith has been in Hub Quick Start Guide now for 7 days. Let's reach out to them. And they're also getting reminders as well. Hey, do you need any help? We noticed that you've been here for a few days and so forth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, Dar. So this particular process, so I do have a little bit of a techie side in my brain.
Oh, there it comes. I knew you had some tech in you.
So,
all right.
So is this working off of trigger links? How are you tracking the progress of their progress? How are these automations moving people forward? Is this manually being moved?
No, these are moving forward. So interestingly enough, they're moving forward in form submissions that don't have a form. So essentially you can go to create a form and actually not create a form. Just the only thing you put in there is button. You can put 2 buttons, a button to go ahead and a button.
No
and it's
just for questions. It's just the buttons that
just the button. Because once the very beginning where we have them put in their email, that email's connecting, right? So it'll say, it'll know that it's Dr. Smith. And when Dr. Smith hits that first button, it's technically a form submission, although no form's being submitted. And so what we do is we put in the notes of that doctor and their contact that, they've completed that. They've completed, so that way you can have it as a reference if someone doesn't complete things, but completed on such and such a day, completed on such, and it's really just a form submission button.
Yeah.
That because you can use that as a trigger in a workflow to then move someone along the pipeline.
Yeah. So one of the things we do at high level, like if, on average, we can easily take on 2,000 to 3,000 trials a month, and we have to really keep track of the success cycle of a brand new customer, net new, right? So if they join us, we don't really care about the 14-day trial. What we look at is how quickly within that window do they progress, and how do they progress? What do they progress? So you guys doing this at a smaller scale, keeping track of the amount of people that are coming in allows you to have a measuring stick for you to scale. And that's really why this is so important, is if you have this all mapped out properly, you're not going to be afraid to go get 50 clients and just load them all in. You know, you can track their progress and you can intercept them when you feel like they might be on a failure cycle. So
Right.
keep going, Dar, keep going.
Yeah. And then a side note to this, we also have a red, yellow, green system that we use that's not in high level for more complex things that take a little bit longer. So someone will be red if we haven't started it yet. It'll be yellow if it's in progress, and it'll be green once it's completed. That way we can just quickly look at the chart and know, okay, the reds pop out at you like, oh, we got to do this one over here. So yeah. Okay. The other thing I want to show you is down here on the left, you see some navigation that isn't standard in high level. It's very easy for you to change this to make it anything you want it to be. So we've added support help, trainings, onboarding, and then help library. Now the top three are things that we've done, and the bottom one is our help library from HL Pro Tools, which is an amazing resource, by the way, that help library. So support help, what is this? When someone clicks this, and we're telling them in the videos, in fact, it's very important early on to tell them how and where to get help, So when they click this button, it's going to open up a window that's going to go right to our ticketing system, right? It's a support email, goes right to our Freshdesk ticketing system. That way we can track everything. Trainings, I'm going to show you in a minute. Trainings goes to the members training area. Now, this gets back to knowing your niche, understanding what their needs are. If I were to put the entire high-level training system in here, oh my God, it would completely overwhelm our chiropractors. They wouldn't know where to start. They wouldn't know what they need. So me understanding what their needs are and what they ask for, I've created personalized trainings for them just with a Loom video, and I'm giving it to them as they need it, like a roadmap of trainings, so to speak. And then onboarding, you can see, if they ever need to refer back to onboarding videos, we've got that as well.
Yeah, for folks that are brand new in the community, I can tell you there are plenty of high-level fellow agency owners and SaaSpreneurs that have completely white labeled a lot of these trainings as well. So you can go buy it from them and load it into your system. You don't necessarily have to create all these from scratch. Our ecosystem and our community are now starting to be advanced where they're creating these offers among each other. So just put a post in the Facebook group or the network or whatever.
Actually, I got something for you. Sorry to interrupt, Paul. So we are re-recording this right now for Chirodominance. And while I'm re-recording it right now for Chirodominance, several of the people in my coaching group were like, hey, we would love a version of that, a white label version for ourselves. So I'm recording a white label version of this for the people in my coaching community. And I'm going to include that for the people who sign up. So I'm not being salesy, just want to let you know, I'm building this out right now, and we'll have a white label version that will be a part of the things that you get if you upgrade this week.
Thank you, Dar. I appreciate it, man. I think that's the spirit right there, right? Like that's the spirit of the fellow agency owners inside High Level. We're all here to help each other succeed. Like this is not as competitive of a landscape as a lot of you brand new people in here may think it is, that you may be used to in other marketing communities. We're all here to win together. And I promise you, you're going to always find helpful people. So thank you, Dara. Let's keep going.
Man, of course. All right. So back here, when they click trainings, it's going to go here, right? And this is a members area. When they click each one of these, there's a sequence of videos that relate to wherever they've clicked on. And it looks like this, right? And it's easy stuff. Conversations tab overview, unread versus all, making appointments, D&D. So each of these, okay, if someone's to opt out, I mean, this is like a 30-second video. Okay, to opt out, here you go here, right? It's just really easy and quick. And it's me doing a Loom video showing them. So that's what that is. All right. Any questions on this before I move on to like the website part?
Yeah. What happens on the Zoom calls typically? Like they go through all this, and if they do everything right or they don't do everything right, like what is the temperature of that Zoom call? Is it like, man, nothing's working, help me?
Never had that. Like, it's always good. It's always positive.
Can you give us a quick rundown of how you carry that conversation real quick?
Yeah, so we get on a Zoom call and I'm like, hey, let's go through it. The first thing we do is I go right to settings. Okay, we're gonna go to settings and we're gonna go through everything and make sure things are set up right. And let me tell you, we use these things called custom values. You might have not heard them before, but here's what they are, and here's why I'm telling you about them now. We're going to have appointments that go out to your patients, and it's going to say contact first name, you're right. So like Jill, Steve, so forth. So I'm getting them where they can, okay, what a custom value is. And I'll say, and then we'll close that out with location name. Well, location name is your name. So anything that we talk about your business, whether it's location name, location phone, location address, email, it's all going to come from this settings page. So we want to make sure that it is set up the way you want it to be set up. So we go through and we make sure all that's good. We make sure their time zones are good. We make sure to have, this is the one that you could overlook. There's some permissions on the right-hand side, allow duplicate appointments or duplicate contacts and so forth. There's one that is disable time zones. So if you're serving a local community and, like I'm here in Oklahoma, I'm not, well, if I were a chiropractor here in Oklahoma,
A brick and mortar location.
right? I'm not setting appointments for people in California to come to me. So you want to turn that time zone off, because I'm telling you, more times than you would think about it, someone in your same time zone who wants to come see you make an appointment, they'll make the appointment, but then accidentally somehow click Pacific time zone or a different time zone. Then they show up at the wrong time and someone's pissed off, right? Showed up when the doctor wasn't at the office. So I would make sure turn that off if you're serving people locally. You want to talk about missed call text back and enforce why it's important, because some people might be like, oh, I don't want that. I don't know. No, you do want that, because if people don't engage with you or don't feel like you're engaging with them, they're going to bounce off to someone else. So we go through all that. Then we go through their Twilio. We make sure that they've picked the phone number. We make sure that it's forwarded, make sure that they understand how all that works. We go through their integrations, make sure that they have integrated their Google, then their Google Business, then their Facebook. And
Do you have like a checklist or something? How are you remembering all these things? Like, do you have like a onboarding checklist that you kind of know you want to go through and make sure you check off? Like, what is higher? Like, I can't remember. You said
you
you
can tell I don't. So in the beginning, this is a bad thing. This is an agency owner who's gotten lazy. Yes, we should. And I'm actually dialing in those things now because of our new business partner arrangement. I've just done I had SOPs in the beginning. We just kind of got going. We got enough going to get going, and we know what to do. But we're documenting everything now. And so I'm going back and tightening up some of those things that we've just learned to do and are doing. So yes, there should be an SOP list for everything.
So let's get back on track of what you were sharing. So the membership area, seems like you just loaded a lot of those lessons in there.
Yeah, they're just all loaded in there. They're just Loom videos of me using my mouse and clicker and saying, here, click this and click that, so forth.
Yeah, High Level came out with percentage watched on video now, where you can now shoot off workflows and automations off of somebody's watched amount of video.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'll have to use that.
That's some more stuff to build up.
I love it. I don't know how you it's hard to keep up. Yeah. So, okay. So we do website fulfillment, right, as well. And so what we do is we make sure and we used to have to email back and forth that we need this and that and a checklist. Now in the members area, well, in the video about website, we're like, okay, if you pick the plan where you're going to get a website from us, here's what we need from you. We have it all listed out on a custom form that we've built in High Level, intake form, where they can just drop it all in there. I also tell them, look, do your best, but if you don't have everything, that's okay. We want to get started. We don't want to wait a month because you still haven't done your welcome video or whatever it is. So get as much as possible in that intake form so we can get going. My team can get going. Then we're going to build their site in High Level first and then in WordPress. Now, everyone has different things that they do based on what we do. Here's why I do it. They more than likely have a website somewhere else with someone else. So we're going to build it in WordPress. I mean, we can build it really quick in High Level. So we'll build it as what I call the rough draft. I'm like, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to build a draft to go through and have a website review with you and make sure that we got everything right. Like your hours are right, make any changes you want to make. And once that draft is good, then we're going to go live with the draft. And then we're going to build your final site in WordPress that matches the draft. Then we're going to make that WordPress site live. And we're going to keep the draft as a backup just in case the internet gods do something at us and the WordPress site goes down. Then we have a backup that we can just quickly put up there. And so that's how we do that.
That's really smart, Dar. And also for those of you that may get resistance from your customers about websites that don't want to make any changes, you can always let them keep their website and just replace their forms and surveys with high-level forms and surveys that still allows you to capture that traffic and throw them into a centralized CRM system with high-level for you.
So that's kind of what we do there. But, if you're doing other things, you can use like the same framework. Get intake, get information from them in one spot, consolidated using one form, or if you can, then do whatever you need to do to kind of get things ready, and then have a scheduled review with them where you review all the stuff, then make adjustments and go live. And incidentally, we also use pipelines to keep up with this as well, to see where we're at on our side of things as well. Okay. Once we've done their hub and their website, and then all the other things that we do for them, then we want to let them know, okay, here's how it all works, and here's what to expect moving forward. At that point, if we haven't already told them, we're like, make sure that you download the app and get familiar with it. We have a Chiro Dominance app, and of course, we use the actual, build an app through a high level. For the local business side, we just use the Lead Connector app, which is amazing in its own right. So we tell them to download the app and get familiar with it. That's always a bonus. If we haven't talked about the app until this point, they're like, you have an app? I'm like, yeah. Like, you can still see all your contacts. You can message them. You can request payment from them, your schedule, the whole thing. And they're like, whoa, it just keeps getting better. Then I'm telling them and encouraging them to go into the members training area on a consistent basis. I'm reinforcing right off the bat, all these videos are really quick. They're 1 or 2 minutes long, right? So you can knock out a few videos in a setting that helps you get familiar with the system, but at least do the first couple of sections, which will take you 10 or 20 minutes, because it's going to address the sections in the hub that you're going to utilize most in your business. And this is from me knowing my niche. So you would do the same. You would put the videos first that make most sense for them to dive into. So yeah, members training area. By the way, the white label ones that I'm doing for you, you're going to be able to just organize them in whatever fashion you want, right? They won't be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just put them, if you want to talk about reviews first, make that one the number 1. If you want to talk about something else, so you can move those around. And then we do weekly trainings. We just call them Tuesday trainings. Every Tuesday at 2:00, Tuesday trainings. So people know that they can get on and have Q&As. We'll be on Zoom. We can get into their hub, answer questions, show them how to send a message or do whatever they might need to do. Okay. So training and support, right? We already talked about the members training area. Also, I want to tell you this. We learned this, I don't know how far along it was, but we didn't do it right off the bat. So when you have a client, you typically have, on our case, we have the doctor and the doctor's name and the doctor's phone number and stuff, but the staff is running the show, right? So if we send a message to the doctor about, hey, we just did this new thing, whatever, well, the staff doesn't know. So we set up an office. We'll just say, my business partner, Spears Chiropractic, right? So we have Dr. Spears, have his contact information, his cell phone, his email, and so forth. But then we set up another contact in the Chiro Dominance Hub that is office-Spears Chiropractic, right? And then for that phone number, guess what we use? The Twilio number. So that way, every week when we have the webinars or anything we need to say, we send out a message to all of our customers. That sub-account, that office is also one of the customers. So they're going to get a message in their hub from us saying, hey, today for Tuesday trainings, we're going to talk about how to send out the Thanksgiving newsletter that we just made for you, right? So a little tip, that's a little nougat for you. Tuesday trainings. Okay. Here's another thing. As you're building out, well, I'm going to build out your stuff if you're getting my link, but every week you can send them a little training video, right? So you have the content. It's great to touch base with them and give them value every week. So every week, just put together a little workflow that goes out to them and says, hey, today I want to show you about how to add a contact. Today I want to show you about how to request a review. It's just one little white label videos. Make sure that you use your workflows to remind you, but also to check in with your clients. I can tell you, the more clients that we get, and honestly, this is a testament to SaaS. I will tell you, standing right now here, guilty. I know there are clients that I have not talked to in a long time that I need to and should be talking to. We just get busy doing stuff, but they haven't quit yet. And I'm still amazed that they haven't quit because I haven't talked to them, and I should. But the system delivers value more so than what they pay for. And so that's just the brilliance of SaaS. But if you can, make sure you are checking in with them, personally, or, using the automations. Honestly, that's all I have today for that, because I wanted to leave more time for Q&A, because I know we've been missing that a lot.
Yeah.
But I just want to leave every day. I have a little something for you, and I want to tell each and every one of you, I'm telling you, you can do this. You just have to decide to do it. Not like, I wonder if I can do it or whatever. Like, I decided I had to do it because my motorcycle business was failing, and I was working for someone else, and I did not like that at all. Right. And I wanted a better house and a better life and better things for my kids. So just decide to do it, and just keep moving forward every day. I'm telling you, it's mindset. That is all it is. Go ahead, buddy.
So, Dar, the way that I think, so I was thinking about it yesterday because we had way too many people that raised their hands. What I'm going to ask all of you to do is put your questions down on the streaming, and I'm going to read out those questions.
Oh, it's a great idea.
Address it with Dar, me and him. That way we'll be very efficient with time, and we can get through more questions. And we intentionally left more time. So all your questions, I see Ben Roman, your question, Mike, Kevin Snyder, I see Joe Tran. Joe Tran says, man, your sexy voice will be great for the white label videos.
How you doing? How you doing, Joe Tran?
But add all your questions in the streaming, and we'll go through it. Me and Dar will go through every single one of them as much as we can. So what are we looking at? Target, structural, tell me what.
So, each day I've been kind of given a little homework or a little, because since everyone's getting these slides, who's requested slides, this is just kind of give you, I know we're covering a lot. So just kind of, okay, what do I do? So for your onboarding, like, these are some targets for you to do. Create an onboarding blueprint. We use Lucidchart. You can use whatever you want. You're going to have that in the slide so you can see it. Determine your pipeline for client tracking, right? Utilize features in the software to help you. Determine your pipeline for fulfillment. If you can keep up with these things, it's going to help you, because as you have success in getting clients, your first 10 are the hardest, but then your next 10 come easier, and then your next 10 come easier. But then what happens is you end up going backwards if you can't fulfill good, right? So you want to make sure that you have this set up. So when you're on a roll and you're at 20 and 30 clients, your fulfillment is just popping off, and you can just keep going and getting people in sales. Set up your workflows, which includes check-ins. The next thing is trainings. You need a welcome sequence. People will, I'm telling you, buyer's remorse sets in. What did I just buy? Or the spouse or the business partner is like, what you bought? What did you do? You don't have time for that, right? You want them to feel good about this. You want to swallow your pride, make a video, and make them feel loved, like they just made the best decision ever. You want to create your initial instruction videos, right? For the first few things you want them to do before they go in training. Then you want to create a roadmap of the training videos in the members area. And as I said, if you upgrade using the link, then you'll get those videos, and you can just arrange them in the way that you want to arrange them. And then you want to make sure and dedicate time for weekly training, right? You want them to feel heard and to know that they've got, it takes us 30 minutes every week. Sometimes it goes 45 minutes. So make sure and carve out that time. And then let's see. Welcome series, check-ins. Welcome. Oh, look at that. I had it up there twice. All right. This is a reminder. You've seen it every day this week. You can just read it. I'm not going to say it, but man, SaaS it delivers. And then tomorrow, here's what we're going to cover. Evergreen customer experiences that deliver wins over and over. Not all review campaigns are the same. I'm going to show you at least 2, but possibly 3 different types of review campaigns, and knowing which ones to use for which type of customer and which scenario. We're going to talk about visibility and attractiveness and attribution, which frankly is what everybody needs regardless of the niche. And then customer marketing. You want to give them the easy button, some things that they didn't expect. And we're going to talk about that as well. So don't miss it. All right.
Okay.
And
awesome.
then, there's this, we've talked about it each day, but anyway, do you have questions? Let's roll.
Yeah. So I've got my phone here, which actually tend to move faster than my desktop for some reason on streaming. Okay. There is a number there for those of you that are asking for the slides. I believe it's 405-300-4471.
That sounds it.
Just to clarify what the upgrade to SaaS Pro offer really is. It's really simple, guys and gals. Upgrade to SaaS or your $497 plan under Dar's affiliate link. He's going to throw in his agency courses, white label videos, snapshots, onboarding stuff, like really a ton of different things that you would pay like 10 to 15 to maybe even $20,000 if you were to hire a consultant to build it all out. And this is all done. On top of that, you get weekly coaching from Dar. He's planning on writing a book that he's told me about. I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do that after Christmas, probably. He also will offer you guys that are starting out, especially the first 20 that upgrades, you'll get a $500, I think it's more like $1,000 value session with Dar, where he'll just personally spend time with you at least 1 hour and just kind of go through your business as you're starting out. Even if you're advanced, he will more than likely spend time with you. So that's only good for the first 20 because Dar has to actually run a company. So
yeah,
bear with him.
That's 20 hours.
Yeah, that's 20 hours. So let's go through the first question. Joni Levine, thanks for your question, Joni. Can a done for you model scale? Hence, our business name is Done For You, marketing systems, or your thoughts. And what do you think, Dar?
It depends on what the done for you is. I mean, we build websites, we've scaled.
Yeah.
So
but
I think
you actually don't do the work, right?
What's that?
You actually don't do the website building, right? Like, how do you facilitate that?
One of my team members does. I don't, but we don't job that out, right? So we set up their hub. We have all their automations, and we connect it to another software through API. We build their websites, WordPress websites. We do citations, backlinks. We optimize their Google Business Profile. Like there's quite a bit they get in their SaaS offering for us, and we've scaled. I think the complexity, the more complexity you add, the harder it is to scale, or the slower it is, or the bigger the team that you need to manage that.
Yeah. And for those of you that are starting out, just leave services alone. Just give yourself a chance to really just like map out all your complete SaaS. And later on, you can always go back and add maybe GMB services, maybe website services or funnel services. But if you're starting out and don't have those Facebook ad skills and Google ad skills and funnel building skills, like I would say leave it alone, get your SaaS going, and then you can create the expansion revenue and go from there. That's my recommendation. So let's go with the next question. Back to my phone. Let's see here. Someone's asking Shah Talab. Shah is asking training and support. How do you make sure you do all these trainings, etc., for your clients when you're new to the SaaS agency?
Well, I didn't. When I was new, I just did what I could handle, bandwidth wise.
So
I trained them on the things,
calls and all this.
Oh, we still did that. Yeah, we still did that. And the things that I didn't have the answers to, they'd ask. I'd say, I don't know, but I know who knows. I'll find out and I get back to you. I never try to act, like I know something I don't. I just say, I'm very resourceful. I'll find that answer and get back to you. But always dedicate time for training, even if you don't. You can call it Q&A. It doesn't necessarily have to. And as you're learning high level, you learn something new each week. That can be the topic for training. Like you can take a Sean coming at you every week. Be like, this week we're going to talk about the new calendar, such and such. That's popping off or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. So the next question is, and this is a very, very important question, actually, Dar, because we're talking about the road to the 100 SaaS clients, right? That in beginning stages. Gerald Lund asked, how many customers can you handle as a solopreneur who's essentially starting out, or your SaaSpreneur by yourself? Like, if you have a setup like this, how far do you think you can go before you have to hire the first person?
I think I hired the first person at like 25 clients ish. And I already had SOPs written out. So I was able to say, here's what we're going to do. And I just had them do the things that I did, that took the time away from me doing other things that I was better skilled to do. So I don't know. I think, probably the next 10 or 20, we got someone else. Next, 10 or 20 or so, we got someone else. So it just kind of depends on you and how much you want to do.
And your team infrastructure is going to change depending on the type of offers you have. If you're just doing SaaS alone versus SaaS hybrid like Dar is doing, it's going to change a couple of things, because your onboarding is going to change, the amount of interaction you have to do is going to change, and you may not have to hire somebody as quick if you just go SaaS alone.
Plus, we didn't have. Listen, there was no training on SaaS. There was no white labeled training videos on there. Like the stuff that you have available to you, whether through me or any other of the great qualified people in the community, use those things to accelerate your pace. So you don't have to spend time making all the videos and learning all the stuff.
Yep. David Ortega goes, best way to automate onboarding is the workflows tools that you need to pull this off. Like, do you recommend a complete 100% automated onboarding?
Well, I mean, you need to have personal touch points with your customers. If this is how I feel about it, I mean, every one of my customers, I know their name, they know my name, and maybe I'm a little too close to them, but it helps in the relationship. So you want to automate things that you shouldn't need to be touching, but when they get, when they put money down to join you, give them a phone call, right? And whether you onboard and do the stuff, like the way I described it to you, the way I do it is what's evolved now that we're, in the multi-hundred customer range, right? So where they're still doing some of the stuff, but they're getting touch points from us. They know that there are humans behind it, helping them and supporting them.
Yeah, and I always think of Sean. If you guys don't know who one of our CEO is, is Sean Clark. And we were at San Diego at Traffic and Conversions, and this man was walking around with T-shirts, guys, and with no shame, no nothing. And I
shot the video.
I know you shot a video of it, and I'm like, at his level, we're probably not wanting to we're like, why is he doing this? Right. We have enough help, but it's the mentality behind it. Nobody is too big to get into the trenches of anybody, our business overall. And that's the same energy that I feel from a lot of successful SaaSpreneurs like Dar. Nobody's afraid to just jump in on a Zoom, just get on a quick call, no matter how much you scaled. You can be at 1,000 customers, but don't be afraid to spend an hour with a trial that may or may not work out for you. And your team sees that energy, and that matters a lot.
Yeah, because even if you lose, like let's say you spend and you lose someone, you have learned, right? That's tuition. That's a good lesson. It's maybe not the one you want, but it helps you to avoid that mistake, down the road. All right. You have another question there, buddy?
Yeah. Daniel Bash, he's asked, sorry if I'm butchering people's names. I'm sorry, but Daniel's asking, can you show the stages of your pipelines again, maybe on a demo account, or ask to protect your client's privacy? I think you're giving that away, right? Essentially.
Yeah, I'm going to give that away when we do it. And the one that I put on these slides, I actually made up a dummy one last night, so I wouldn't reveal client and patient and doctor information. So, yeah.
Yep. I saw you with the name Dr. Shalinsky, and I was like, that's not Alex Shalinsky.
I was wondering if he would catch that.
But yeah, I think a demo account quite often, even
Yeah.
us at high level, back when we first used to do a lot of onboardings, we will set up a dummy account. One of the
Oh
sub
yeah.
accounts will be a dummy, like plain demo account where we don't go into other agencies' information or anything like that. We'll just use
Oh,
that
you
as
know what? I misunderstood the question. Sorry to cut you off, Paul. So yeah, I have a sub account called Demo Chiropractic, and you can go to a website called Makaroo, and I think that's it, Makaroo, and you can like get a dummy list of fake names, fake emails, fake phone numbers, and populate it so it looks real. So I think I got a list of like 300. I don't know. I think it might even be free, or it might have been $5. But I got this dummy list from Makaroo. I put it at the Demo Chiropractic because after I had my feeble little brain, I had like Fozzie Bear and Wonder Woman and Superman, and I had like 10 or so names, and after I just couldn't think of any more. So then I decided to use Makaroo. But yeah, you can do that and set up an entire thing and make it where it looks. And then what you'll do, like I would have my real name in there along with all the dummy ones and my real phone number. And when I'm doing a demo, I'm like, all right, so I'm going to send a text. I'm going to make an appointment for DAR. And I would make an appointment and
yeah.
the automations would go off and it would hit my phone. And I'd be like, all right, see, it's on my phone. Now I'm going to reply back. And then it would pop up on the screen. And they're like, wow.
Yeah, I recommend you adding your customers or prospects phone number into the sequence so they do get that text message
Yeah,
experience.
that's great. Put them in there, of course.
Like, yeah. When are you getting that Porsche, man? I saw that on this
You
reminding
see
me.
that?
I'm waiting.
So yeah, they say 6 to 8 months, and it's been 6 to 8 months for a while. So it's going to be, I hope it's before my daughter graduates.
Yeah, guys and gals, we do have a supercar program as an affiliate of High Level. We pay for one of your luxury cars, and Dar's about to get his pretty soon, I think.
Yeah,
Let's go with
that's the one I
Jeff
want.
Watkins. Jeff says it all sounds good, but the learning curve is pretty steep. You know, what is the best way to learn and understand all these sequencing systems as a brand new high leveler? If you're brand new, it's probably overwhelming, I would say, right? There's way too many
Yeah.
things, way too many moving pieces.
If you would have told me in the beginning all the things I had to do, I don't know. Given the situation I was in, I like my back was up against the wall. I would have been more intimidated. I just didn't. I like ignorantly just went forward, made a mistake, learned, made a mistake. Now I think of all the stuff that I've done, all the mistakes that I've made, but yet where I'm at, kind of like on day one, I made the illustration. Think of this as going to college. Give yourself 4 years. You don't learn it all in 2 months. Like
Yeah.
just a little bit at a time. I promise you, much sooner than 4 years, you will have a wildly successful business that gives you the freedom to do whatever you want to do. So, and like I said, when I started, there weren't SaaS courses. Now there's SaaS courses from me, from other people that are doing it. You know, pick your poison, whoever you want, that will help you along the way. And snapshots that are already built out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it, man.
Yeah, I remember the first couple of months of SaaS. It was like organized chaos, right? And everybody was trying to figure out what it is and how it relates and what to do. Like the today's ecosystem is totally different. There's way too many resources. It's going to come back to somebody being lazy or not having the right guidance of why they didn't succeed. It's not because it's not available. You just have to dig through the right amount of people and the right insight for your business. Brian says, how can we work with DAR if we're already on Pro?
Yeah, in this yellow box that's on this page right down here. So here's what this is. I have been selling my SaaS playbook, which doesn't include as many things that I have for you. I've been selling it for $1,000, like discounted down from $2,000. What I've done now is I've added more stuff to it, discounted it to $397, and then that includes your first month of group coaching. So in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, there will be monthly, and I'm sorry, not monthly, there will be weekly group coaching. And it's $197 a month. So that's, I mean, it's the cheapest you're going to see any of this stuff that's really going to help you along. I tried to make it where it made sense for you. And what I'm banking on, because it is way less than I would charge for less than my coaching and any of that stuff, I'm banking on the fact that I'm going to continue to deliver value and you're going to stick. but
So,
you could get in and cancel after month
yeah.
one.
And as a follow-up, Kevin Snyder says, Dar, do your affiliates have access to the Tuesday trainings that you do for your clients, even if they're
no, that's for my chiropractors. No,
okay? Got it.
now
Like
on
no
my
replays or anything that they can see?
no, not for chiropractors.
Okay.
That I keep that separate.
Okay.
But what I do, I mean, I have coaching people that pay me in the thousands, not in the hundreds, for coaching, where it's, we have multiple group sessions during the week. We have one-on-one sessions on Fridays. We have a Slack channel. It's way more, right? And so what I tried to make this available to people who might be just starting out or
Got it.
not ready to drop thousands on coaching, but still want the information,
Got it. Okay. Guys and gals, put in more questions on the streaming. I'm going through almost every single one of them to keep it very efficient on time. I'm just reading through it and going through as much as we can. Let's see. The next question I'm seeing here. Let's see. Where is the link to Dar's ASMR YouTube channel? Don't know what that is.
What is that?
I don't know. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I'm just getting it started.
Okay.
And it's called Prolific GHL.
Okay. Make sure you post it in the stream whenever you get a chance.
I will. And I already have like, so here's what it is. A little self-promotion. It's going to be a combination of interviewing other people who are prolific at using GHL, as well as tutorials and trainings. So think of it as a combination of Christine Seal teaching you how to do stuff and Chase Buckner highlighting people, right? So Prolific GHL is just that. That way you're getting training on stuff, but you get also getting belief because you're seeing this person's doing it and this person's doing it and this person's doing it. And so we've already got like the first 10 episodes recorded, and I was waiting for this workshop. And after this workshop starting next week, we are posting. So
okay, I got people laughing at me on this thing I asked you. I don't know what's about. I feel like I got pranked, but it's okay.
what?
What do you charge for your packages? So what do you typically charge for a WordPress site and for the hosting? Brian Schreiner asked that question. Schreiner?
Yeah, for our Kairos, it's $4.95. So they get everything. They get everything High Level does. They get a WordPress site. They get backlinks. They get Google Business Profile optimized. They get citations.
And do you do trials? You don't do trials, right? You
No
go
trials.
straight to $4.97, and that's where they stay all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because look, in order to deliver that to them, we've got to do work. I'm like, look, we got to do work. I asked them, no one's ever asked that, but if they have like, how many, do you do trials with your patients?
I hope not.
Let's see if that leg fixes itself and we'll try something else.
Self-manage your problem,
Yeah.
Let's go with the next question. Guys and gals, put your questions in the Facebook streaming, and we'll keep going. Crystal, hopefully you're doing well. She asked, do you use GHL tasks for building this out for clients or another software from their onboarding form?
Tasks for them to see or for us to see?
Let me see. I think what she's asking is if you use the GHL tasks method, like there is a tasks feature.
I don't. It's good to have, and I use it on some things, but for building out our SaaS, I don't, because we have so many SOPs and various automations that are already set up in Asana.
So use Asana to keep track of the SOPs. We use ClickUp internally. We used to use Asana.
We're actually moving to ClickUp, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Let's see. People are asking, how do we know if we're among the first 20 to upgrade? Dar or his team member will reach out to you if you were one of the first 20. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know if who has signed up. So High Level's got that right now.
Yeah.
So when they let me know, I'll let you know.
Yep. I do know there's only like 2 spots left, I think. But there's, a ton of people that are taking advantage of this opportunity. Let's see. Daniel asked, are there pre-made walkthrough videos showing the client how to navigate GHL's interface? I know they're all unique depending on how the agency is set up, but are there any general videos to help the client navigate? Like, is that what
Yeah.
your white label videos are?
That's what my white label videos are, right? That's what the training, the members area is. That's me on a high level demo account, on Loom, writing, like moving things around. Here's what you do there. Here's what you do here, and
Yeah.
talking through it as I'm doing it. So yeah.
Yeah. Dar, I just remembered a question from yesterday. There was a young lady that asked whether you charge for onboarding. I don't think we got a chance to
Oh, you're right. So we do, but I kind of use it. So no matter who comes on, it's a one-time $500 charge. However, that $500 for me is a buffer. Now I never go below 100, but I might say, we're running a special and I'm going to do it for you for half off. I mean, I really like the attitude with which you've come to me with. I'm just going to give you half off, right? Or I always do. Now, if someone comes to me, you're a jackass, it's $500. But honestly, I've gotten to where we kind of know if someone's going to be, and I don't even take them on as client. In the beginning, I took on everybody because I wanted customers, but those PIA customers are not worth it. Anyway, if they have in their mind that it is a five, and then I even tell them, look, the reason when I say it's 500, I say the reason it's so cheap is because I wanted to give you a deal. We're really going to do about $1,000 worth of work getting you all set up.
Yeah. Yeah. Not all revenue is good revenue. And that's one thing I learned in business. You want to say no to the bad clients. That's going to put a strain on your business and process. Eric Taylor is asking, are you using Google Forms to track or high level forms? And I think he's possibly talking about tracking the progress of onboarding.
So we're using a combination of both. Like I showed you what I showed you, but we also have we have like a master Google spreadsheet that has all of our clients, has what plan they're on, has other things that are important to us, what software we have to integrate with, and all that stuff. That was that red, yellow, green sheet I was telling you about earlier.
Yep. Jake Short is saying you can use the new media section to track video percentage watched now, yes. And I know that you can, and you can actually fire off workflows based on their percentage watched from what I know. And that was released in the conference, the high level.
Yeah, I would say that was coming at you about a couple of weeks ago.
That's the way we say things. That was coming at you.
It was coming at you.
I need to tell Chase to create a new high level branded t-shirt.
Oh, dude,
coming at you.
I would love it. Coming at you. I'll buy one.
I need to write that down. But anyways, Daniel Enzanello asking, I like to add the date that they entered into each stage of their card. And that, I think that's a tip or a suggestion Daniel was saying. I think that's a good idea to keep track of. Like, Dara, you said somebody was stuck in a stage for 7 days, right? So what is your process of getting them out of that stage? Did you call them again, or?
Yeah, we'll reach out to them. We might just send them a little email quick or a call just to, but honestly, there's no rhyme or reason to it. We're just going to get in touch with them as quickly as we can without interfering with their business. But as I was mentioning, we're using forms, and when we use the form button, you can trigger off a form button. So when it's submitted, it moves across. And also once you trigger, then you can trigger to do anything. So we'll trigger a note that goes in their notes, in their contact account, that'll say what day such and such happened. So I don't know if that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Somebody's asking if your updated white label video thing, is that a lifetime thing where you'll give us the updated ones as you update them, or is it a one-time thing?
No, I mean, why not? It can be lifetime. What I've done with my coaching people to this part of my coaching journey, even if someone was with me last year, they still have access to the members area. So anything that gets updated gets updated. Okay. I'm not a greedy guy. I'm happy to help people along.
Yep. And I'm getting a lot of questions of folks that are already on Pro that want to get all your extra bonuses. So we
Yeah,
have
that's it right
that.
there.
Yep, that's it in the yellow.
Hey, and just so you know, I mean, you may want to screenshot that now because you won't get these slides until the end of the week. This link is not, you can't find it. You can't go to prolificsas.com and then this isn't navigating anywhere, or you can't navigate to it, because this is really a Black Friday thing that you guys are getting a week ahead. So this isn't, it's live, but it's hidden. So you actually have to type this in, prolificsas.com/affiliate-group-coaching. And
awesome.
there you go.
We got a ton more questions, just so you know,
Let's
Dar.
go.
So if we can power through them.
I'm good. If the camera dies, I've got the camera on my Mac, and
That was funny.
Here's what happened, by the way. This is Chase Buckner's fault. This is Chase. When we were in San Diego, he borrowed my camera, allowed her. At first, he borrowed my battery, and I think he switched batteries. I think he gave me his battery.
I'll let him know.
We'll go with that. All right.
Let's see. Antonio Jose asks, what's in the customer win snapshot? Like, what is that about? Is that part of your onboarding, or is that a complete?
Yeah. No, that's a complete thing that you'll have to come tomorrow to find out, because we're going to talk all about customer wins tomorrow, but I'm telling you, it is good stuff.
Yeah.
It is good stuff.
And I've got an interesting question here. Mike says, I've seen the word snapshots several times evaluating GHL, but not sure what it is or means. Like,
you want to take that? Go ahead.
I mean,
I will.
Pretty simple in my mind. Snapshots are frameworks that you can build inside each sub account that allows you to scale and duplicate or share or modify. But once you build a framework for one client, you don't have to rebuild high level ever again. That's the new basis. And people build out snapshots for 3-4 years. They build out for sales teams, operations teams, inventory systems. There's so many different use cases, but really I look at it as a skeleton of like the bone structure of the business, and you can duplicate it and share and buy and exchange from other people.
It's the ultimate copy and paste. Think about this. I've been building my business, Chiro Dominance, for the last 2 years, and have pretty much perfected it, even though we continue to iterate and make improvements. Yeah. All the different things that I've done to get it to this point are all in my system, all the different workflows, all the different templates, all the different things, right? A snapshot is, imagine a copy and paste that I'm like, all right, here's a link.
Yeah.
You can take that link and put it in your, and all of a sudden you have all of those workflows and all of the things. And that frankly, we had to learn how to do.
Yeah. And if we were like a big economic system, like snapshots will be the currency that all high levelers will function in.
Yeah.
Like $5 ones, $10 ones, $20,000 snapshots that you can buy, $1 ones. And you once in a while will find some fake currency that's not good. So don't get into trouble. But let's see. Why do you do all your websites in WordPress? What about platforms like Divi or Beaver? And that's Jason Pringle that's asking.
I don't know. I think WordPress is, isn't it like 30% of the websites on the entire internet are WordPress? Just because it's the king, I don't have any other reason. That's what people tell me. And that's why the speed and structure of WordPress sites perform better for our clients. But I'm no expert at that. That's kind of what I've come to learn. And we've been able to back up with the performance that our sites give for our clients.
When we launched the WordPress hosting, it was like 42% of the internet is on WordPress. Like we did some
42%. Wow.
It was a really big number. Chris Obella is asking, so you use a free trial / demo, webinar. So I want to ask another question along with it. I know we talked about on day one, Dar, how do customers come to you? How do you find them? What does your acquisition process look like? I know you don't do trials, but how do they find you? Is it all conferences and events and you speak from stage, or?
Yeah. So we'll just go with Chiro Dominance because that's our primary business. Honestly, it's referral based at this point. For various reasons, it was how we got started. We found it was a great way to deliver value. And we found that it was better to have other people say, man, Chiro Dominance is awesome, rather than us saying, hey, we're awesome. So, and in the meantime, we were also really dialing in our system, right? So not only dialing in the high level portion of our system, but the API integration into other EHR softwares, which honestly, that is still today the most complicated part of it. If you're just dealing with high level, even though it's complex, man, it's so much simpler. Like, just if you just have to deal with the high level on its own, consider that a win. When you have to integrate it into an API, another software via API, there's just constant iteration, constant programming, and all kinds of stuff. So we spent a lot of time just really dialing that part of it in. We integrate with 3 different EHR softwares now. And but now that we're at that point, things are dialed in, things are really good. We have a great reputation. We're going to start growing via ads. So we're going to start, you'll see an aggressive push for us as we start going into 2023, because we're going to push to get to 1,000 clients.
Yeah. I think you do what you can in the beginning to get going, like whatever that means to you based on your strengths. Like Dar was fortunate enough to build some relationships that he went to conferences and he was, closing 40, 50 clients at once on one weekend with the closer, right? Like not everybody has that ability. So you have to figure out what's going to work for you. I literally, when I first launched, created a partnership relationship with the dentist. And I said, hey, doc, like I will 100% handle all your marketing for free, be your marketing guy for the next 2 years. Just bring me 2 to 3 more other dental practices. And I asked each one of them the same thing. And every single one of them, based on results, brought in 4 or 5 more. So within like the first 3-4 months, we were at like 30 clients, all white glove services, that $4,000 to $5,000. So it just really depends on you wanting to do sale. Like one thing you should all learn from high level is we're very good at marketing with affiliates and putting them in a great position to succeed, supporting them in many ways, making sure they're not getting in each other's ways. Like we're really very good at that relationship. And for you as a SaaS company, you can do the same thing with customers. Like, yes, they're not all techie, they're all industry related experts, but they know their industry more than you know the industry, no matter how good you're at chiro. Like chiropractors know more. So you leverage that as much as you can to get the first step going. Let's see. Someone says watching the high level YouTube channel is very helpful in learning.
It is. My man Jeff Van Asdal, who is super talented.
Oh yeah,
that's how he tells me. He was like, every morning I get up and I watch a high level video. That's how I've learned every morning. And it's part of his. I'm like, all right, man.
Your teeth, turn it on.
That's it. That's it.
Crystal says, what is your customer acquisition cost on marketing? And I know that's going to vary among different strategies.
I have no idea. I don't do any. I mean, it's just, I'm here talking to you and the business is just running. We got 2 new clients last week that just came to us. They're like, yo, Dr. So-and-so said you're amazing, Dr. So-and-so. So when we start running ads, we'll be tracking that stuff. Right now, I'm not tracking it.
Yeah. And your acquisition cost is going to be generally higher than your standard agency. But remember, you should have less than a 4 to 5% churn with SaaS, where agencies, like we know 75% is going to churn out, meaning you're only going to keep 25% of your customers going into the next quarter or the next year because they don't stay around no matter how great of a service you have. So let's do this, Dar. I think I got through all the questions so far. Let me see. Of your customers going into the service you have. So let's do this, Dar. I think I got through all. Sorry, there's a replay.
There was something that occurred to me. I just wanted to kind of like throw out this obvious thing to people. And that is this: regardless of your journey in high level, regardless of your SaaS or not, if you aspire to have 10 clients or a few hundred clients, as long as high level is around and exists, you learn this platform, you will never have to do anything else in your life. That's where I'm at. I just turned 54 years old. Like, I hope high level continues to exist as long as I'm working, because like this is it. I used to use ClickFunnels and I could do just a few things. The reason I came to high level is because ClickFunnels couldn't do the things that high levels could do. Crazy enough, that was 2 years ago. ClickFunnels still does funnels. I don't know, a few other things. And, you know, much love to Russell Brunson for all of his marketing prowess. A high level is just like, oh, active campaign. You like that kind of stuff? Yeah, we'll do that. Newsletters, you like that? Sure. You want to do video tracking and members areas? You bet, right? This is this ultimate Swiss Army aid of, if you know how to use it and perfect it, you can walk into any business and solve a problem for them and provide value. It's just, I can't stress enough how amazing it is. Oh, hold on a minute.
You're good. We can
You
see
just lost me. No, hold on though. I can switch cameras. We're going to do start video.
So those of you, I see.
There we go.
I see a few people raising their hands. Post your questions in the streaming and I'll go through it as much as I can. You know, I have a lot of respect for, you know, the folks at ClickFunnels. We went through I started off in that world, went through all the events. They're great at what they do. And I have, you know, we have nothing but respect for them. And they were
absolutely
one of the pioneers, you know, and at this, and with that in mind, like at this point, if you're an agency out there in 2022, and you're not really leveraging something like high level, you're probably going to fail. Like you're probably going to go bankrupt because the amount of competitiveness, you know, the amount of, you know, the offers that the agencies provide now for a customer is so big that you cannot compete with anybody that is a high level agency unless you have high level. Like there's no other way. Like we're now getting to the world of just offering not just leads, but actually customers.
And then here's the other thing. If you weren't at the Level Up conference, let me leave you with this, because I asked Sean.
Let's end on this note, Dar. Let's end on this note.
I ask Sean from time to time, Sean, is it changing? What's going, like, when is the rug going to get pulled out from under us? Sean revealed publicly that he turned down $300 million. I
think it was 400 something.
Was it 400 to sell out? And he was like, no, I love what I do. I want to support this community.
Yeah.
So like high level is here to stay and just getting better and better. So man, I'm staying.
I'm grateful to be part of it, man. I mean, every single one of us is about to witness the next Salesforce inside the marketing industry, whether it's just the timing of when. I mean, I'm not comparing us to Salesforce, but we're in the early stages of putting together the infrastructure that'll take us there. But we can't do it without amazing agency owners that tell us what we should develop, that tells us how well, you know, what we're doing wrong, how will we correct things. We have so many betas. It's a crap show sometimes, guys. I know, but guess what? We're figuring it out together every single time. New adventures. And just to demonstrate how close we are to our customers, here's how we will end it, Dar. Say happy birthday to Luna for me.
That's it. Happy birthday. Luna, our dog, is 3 years old. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see Luna quite a bit.
Luna's a retriever? Is that a retriever?
No, she's a Wheaton Terrier.
Okay. Awesome. Well, either way, I'll be in touch. We'll get day 4 going tomorrow.
Yeah, let's show up tomorrow. Everybody show up tomorrow. We are going to talk about wins, and it's everything that your customers want, and you're going to keep them. So, yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Have a good rest of your afternoon, everybody. Take care.
Thanks for being here. See ya.